Hey, thanks for joining me today, Mike. I really appreciate you having a chat with us after you bought a piece of land in Utah. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do for fun?
For fun, escape humanity.
Okay.
So, yeah, so besides this piece of property, which we have yet to visit, and we're excited to visit, I have a little piece of property in the mountains of Utah, and so we
Oh,
like to
nice.
escape there, and we're trying to improve the land and just get away.
I
So
get
that's
that. I get that. A lot of us that have lived I used to live in Dallas, so tons of population, and we wanted to get out of there. We moved back to where I grew up in Alaska and way less population, very quiet here. So you said you were looking for a piece of land kind of out there. Could
Mhm.
you tell us the process, like what attracted you to this particular piece of land, or how'd you come across it?
So I wanted a piece of land that was in some of the lower populated counties of Utah. There's different laws. There's all kinds of different things that makes it beneficial to own a piece of property out there. And so I was kind of just searching through Zillow and trying to see what would be accessible for just, a campground
Sure.
or something that I could use that was that had a legitimate address, that was a legitimate piece of property that was outside of Salt Lake County, Davis County, outside of the big populated areas. And I actually came across a different piece of property that was in the same subdivision. So I started doing some research on the subdivision and things like that. And I came very, very close to closing on that piece of property, but I was a little hesitant because that there's a lot of scams out there and there's a lot of things. And because, the price point on this was so low, we weren't going through all the tons of paperwork and escrow and meeting in
Right.
person and all that stuff. So I started doing a Google search to kind of do some research before we got to closing, and I came across your piece of property, which happened to be uh, a lower price still, and started conversations with you and the company, and decided to move forward with yours.
So you Googled, and then I'm assuming that took you to the we'vegotland.com
Yes.
website. You found
Yeah,
the
that's exactly.
property. It was very inexpensive. And from there, when you decided to purchase, like you said, you hadn't been out there yet. And that actually happens a lot. People buy sight unseen because maybe they live in Florida, but they want something in Colorado or whatever.
Right.
So we did a purchase agreement online, I believe. You just did a DocuSign. And then rather than pay, because I have found it's crazy, even for raw land, title companies and escrow can be thousand, even 2,500, like insanely high. And this piece of property was lower priced. So a lot of times people feel like, well, I don't really want to pay all that if there's not a
Right.
house on it or something like that. So you opted to do an in-house close. And what do
Uh-huh.
you remember about that process?
That it was super simple, right? And so I was kind of shocked how easily like we could get it all done because it was we did the buyer's agreement. I put down earnest money, a deposit,
Mhm.
and then I think I had talked to you all about getting titling done, but then I had talked to my dad and he's done lots of stuff, and just turns out we could do a quick claim deed and just do that really simply. And so I mean it turned into an Amazon interaction. It was just
Purchase? Yeah, yeah,
purchase. You pay. We did some paperwork real
yeah.
quick. You did the what do you call it?
You recording? Yep.
The e-recording for me, which made it even easier because to get down to the county is like a 3.5 hour drive to actually record it myself. Um, and so, I mean, we were done pretty much everything over the phone and over emails, and that was it. And so it was super simple, super clean. Ended up saving me probably 50% over what I would have paid if I had gone the other route.
Awesome. That's great.
And so that was great because you know, this is something that is nice to have, but ultimately, any money I can save can go towards,
Something else.
improvements and
Yeah.
and other things like that. So paying my
So
my Starlink bill so that I can have
Yeah.
internet when we're out there camping and things like
Right, right.
so
It's
it's
I
all
know a
good.
lot of companies do quit claim, but we actually do special warranty deeds. And so that's a level up. I hope that we can offer a service to our buyers. So we do try to keep it simple. A lot of people have never done anything electronic. They've only been into the title company, sign all the 100 pages or
Yeah.
whatever, and it takes a lot of time. This is way quicker and easier. So we like that. And if you were out there looking right now, and
Hmm.
you're in tech, you mentioned to me, and you're kind of skeptical, AI is getting really good and all that. What would you want to know right now? Like if you were looking, what could you tell you yourself?
I would say I would be looking for anything that makes each step feel and look legitimate, right? So, are you a real person? How do I know that? Are we taking the appropriate steps? So even when, we had done the quick claim and you had said you could do the e-recording and stuff, I still had that little nervous twinge, like, I've never heard of this before. Can we really do this? Is it really this easy? And, so whether you have, kind of this is the step by step of how we're going to do it, and then maybe a couple of other references to, an article on Zillow or an article on,
Right.
MSNBC or whatever it is, like, some references so that, for someone like me who's never done this before, and, is skeptical about everything, to have some confidence that, yeah, this is we're taking each step
Right.
correctly, and even if kind of like an FAQ, right? This is how it's going to go. And if you have any questions, you can see some of the references here. But other than that, the really nice thing is you told me something would happen and we would do something and then it happened. And right. And so that always, of course, engenders confidence as well that, we're going in the right path. And so as soon
Yeah.
as you said it was e-recorded, I was able to see that I think it was within it didn't take long at all. It was within less than a week.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, it was already on the county website
That's awesome.
with my name on it and had the quick claim that we did, and it was,
Yeah.
in PDF, and it even showed up on the Onyx maps as the
Awesome.
ownership and everything like that.
Well,
So,
they're faster than a lot of counties, but yeah, a lot of people have never heard of you recording it, but especially after COVID, that started being a thing where people weren't going into the government offices. And
mhm,
so what's cool is the platform that we use, we are actually registered with many counties across the country to
mhm.
e-record, the ones that allow it. And I mean, that means they have all of our information. They know who we are. Actually, the state of Alaska reached out to me during COVID because they knew we used that platform and said, "Hey, can you do some recording for us? Because nobody can come in here." And I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
"Sure." Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was like, "Sure, not a problem." So yeah, no, I appreciate your time, Mike. I can't wait to see a picture of your family out there enjoying the property and that's just awesome. Thanks for spending some time with us today. And at the end of the day, you own your property and
Yeah.
it wasn't a scam, right?
No, it's great. Everything's already, we've already got like I registered it to my LLC. It's all there.
Oh, good.
We've already have our company vehicle registered to the address and it took care of a lot of the problems that I was seeking to fix. And so yeah, it was a really great experience and turned out to be worthwhile for what we wanted to do. So thank you very
Perfect.
much.
So glad we could
Great.
help and appreciate you being a good customer. Thanks so much.
Certainly. Thank you
Have a
very much.
great day.
You too.